Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or of course, if you're brand new to the channel, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the very first time. But for those of you who are familiar with my videos, obviously as you can see, my setup today is very different, and that is because today's reading is the very first day of our summer-themed week, Mystic Midsummer. So every day from June 16th through June 20th, we will have a tarot reading to celebrate the season, generally around the themes of both light and the summer solstice itself. So thank you so much for joining me today for the very first day of Mystic Midsummer. And of course, as you can tell by the title you just clicked on, our very first reading is all about a secret your spirit guides want to bring to light. So without further ado, let us choose our piles. We're actually choosing with 3 different tarot decks today. So for pile 1, you are choosing with Tarot for the Great Outdoors. And here is the High Priestess from your deck today. Very beautiful. For pile number 2 here in the middle, you are choosing from the Oriens Animal Tarot, and your High Priestess is a wolf. And last but not least, of course, for pile number 3 over here on the right, you are using the Spacious Tarot deck today for your reading. And here is the High Priestess for yours. So of course, as I always say, you're welcome to pause on this part of the reading if you need more time to decide what pile you would like read for you. If you're new to pick a card readings, I like to guide all of us through what I call a meditative moment. So close your eyes, take in a deep cleansing breath, and imagine light filling your lungs. Then hold it for just a few moments. And then when you breathe back out again, open your eyes. And where are they drawn most first? What feels right in your gut, or as we like to call it, your intuition? And that is the pile I recommend you choose. But whatever your method, as I always say, you can even just pick on what looks like the coolest card to you. That works perfectly fine too. You can drop down to the description box below or the top and comment beneath the video. Find the timestamp for your pile, and I'll see you in our chat about the secret your spirit guides want to bring to light to you this summer. See you there. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about the secret your spirit guides want to bring to light. And of course, as you can recall, you were drawn to the tarot deck of Tarot for the Great Outdoors, with your High Priestess navigating through, it looks like, an ice flow of some sort. And it says Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve. So very beautiful natural area. So as we always do when we pick with tarot decks, I like to put your tarot card right back into the deck so it's available for the message if need be. And we're going to start today with 2 of your oracle cards and also a tarot spread, just to glean more about the situation at hand regarding the secret that your spirit guides want to share with you. So spirit guides of pile 1, please guide us to the right cards. What is it you want to tell them that's a secret? Okay. So we have the 3 of Pentacles as the first card that flipped out. All right. There we go. And we'll unveil the other tarot cards in just a moment. And then let's draw the oracle deck that I had spoken about. We have the Tea Leaf Fortune cards. So this secret could be a blessing, pile number 1. It could be something that is clarity on something that you've been asking for. We have Cup, you should accept valid criticism. So that did already flip over. We'll set that out just here for a second. Very curious to see what your secret will be. Okay. There's that one. Okay, let's unveil everything, pile 1. So, like I said, Cup, you should accept valid criticism. And then your other tea leaf today was Candle. You will be shown the way. Speaking of the theme of light, right? How fitting for Mystic Midsummer for our week this week. Very interesting for your first 2 cards. So we're going to set those over here to the left. And then let's unveil the rest of your tarot cards. We have, like I said, the 3 of Stones or Pentacles. Tends to mean something about teamwork, typically. Maybe recently you have been having some issues regarding like working on a team with some people, or it could be even something all the way into the past. Sometimes with these secret readings, spirit guides reveal things that are not even just the most recent. Sometimes it's like things far in the past that still bother you. So it's almost kind of like maybe something with a team that you worried about in the past, and now it's like they're trying to kind of relieve that worry. But let's see what else pops out before we get too far in the weeds with that conclusion, because we want to see everything. We have the Chariot reversed. So something about a lack of control, lack of direction with something. Okay, a little bit of a picture forming. We've got the Seven of Cups reversed. Not being sure about what dream to reach for or what goal to go for. And then we have the Emperor reversed, lack of authority or control. Okay, so kind of a theme is coming forward, especially with the Chariot reversed and the Emperor reversed having come out for you, pile 1, not pile 3. And then the Seven of Wands reversed, feeling like we had to give up defending ourselves. So yeah, this is a pretty straightforward reading, pile number 1. The secret that your spirit guides want to reveal to you is something regarding a time where you felt like you had to defend yourself from a group that was trying to accomplish something together. Some of you, it could have been maybe even just like a romantic partner that you were trying to accomplish something with together, a friend group. A lot of you, it could technically be work, like maybe a work group, or maybe even all the way back to childhood. It was like a group project that you were working on. There's something that they want to unveil to you. Now, I think you felt very defensive at this time, because I don't know if there was just like one particular person that was really critical of you, because with your cup, as we see, it's like you should accept valid criticism. Like maybe someone was very harsh on you and very critical, like they weren't so nice about what was going on. Maybe even they tried to relinquish control from you with this particular project, especially because you have both the Emperor and the Chariot reversed, pile number 1. And the Chariot reversed, as I said before, is like things being out of your control, or not being able to like guide the direction of things. And then the Emperor reversed is like a lack of authority or a lack of control over something. It's like masculine energy in the weak. So it's like you trying to steer something, and it's like someone came in and completely just took the reins out of your hands and was like, no, I'm going to steer this. So I feel like too, maybe this person, or maybe even if it was more than one person, were kind of like demanding, kind of one of those very controlling people, and it really upset you because it was like you had a really clear vision, you thought you were doing well, and I'm sure you were, pile 1. I think that's why your spirit guides want to come out and reach to you about this particular secret. And I mean, I think you went into it with the best of intentions too, pile 1, because the Three of Pentacles at the very beginning as the inciting incident card tells me that it's like you had teamwork in mind. You were like, let's do this in a democratic way. Let's all have equal say in this. Let's all work together. And it just fell apart because someone took the reins, and maybe even it kind of thwarted, especially with the Seven of Cups reversed as your heart of the matter, your central card. It thwarted kind of your hope or your dream and like wanting to go along with this. It just kind of took the wind out of your sails. I mean, speaking of, someone's, I can't remember exactly what the sport is called. There's someone's paragliding in the back, speaking though of sails in the wind, right? In this card. And then at the end, it's like you had to give up. That's what the Seven of Wands reversed as the outcome means, is like you had to give up. And maybe, you look back on this pile number 1 and you think, man, I really wish I wouldn't have given up. What would have happened had I not given up? And we'll see more clarity on that, of course, with the other cards, because I think the secret that your spirit guides want to share with you is right here hidden in the candle card. You will be shown the way. So they're trying to show you what the alternative would have been, or like maybe there was even consequences for that person that you didn't even know about, the one that kind of like tried to commandeer and take over control. Like, not just karmic related things, right? But even tangible things that happened to them because they were so demanding and controlling and trying to take over everything, okay? And for you, it might be like a mighty shame. It might be like, especially with that Seven of Wands reversed, it's a feeling of, man, I should have fought harder. I should have kept control on this. Maybe even you felt that you failed somebody because this particular project or goal didn't come to as good of a conclusion as it would have come to had you kept the control. But first off, I'll right off the bat, pile 1, what I want to say is what I'm hearing from your spirit guides, at least intuitively, is that secret number 1 is, maybe you already know this, but it wasn't your fault, okay? No one blames you, or at least if people blamed you at the time, like in retrospect, people look back and they're like, you know what? I understand that pile number 1 kind of got run over and steamrolled by another person, or particularly maybe more than one person. And it's like, at least in terms of the people surrounding the situation, as well as your spirit guides, like, they don't see fault in you for this, okay? So it's not like you dropped the ball, it's the ball got stolen from you, and, you know, it's... maybe even some of you still even doubt at this point, you know, like maybe this person was right to take the reins away from you. So that's another, if that's the case, pile 1, that's another secret your spirit guides are saying, is that, like, no, you deserved to keep the reins. You deserve to keep having power and authority over the situation. It's just that this person got power hungry and greedy, and they got in your way. And then same thing too, even with the Emperor reversed, can represent someone who is, you know, tends to represent masculine energy, because the Emperor is the fatherhood, or like the masculine, like, tends to denote like male people card, okay? And especially being reversed, it's like in the negative way. So a negative male figure, maybe it was a man that did this to you, okay? Or someone that exudes a lot of masculine energy. They don't even biologically, you know, specifically have to be a male, but at the same time, like, it's like masculine energy that was turned in the negative way. They were too critical, too controlling, and your spirit guides don't blame you whatsoever for giving up on it, because sometimes, pile 1, the best thing you can do in a situation like that is just to let go, as hard as it is. Just to let someone have their way so that they can... oh, what's the best way to put it? They're telling me it's like letting someone having their way so that they can fall on their own and understand that lesson that they wouldn't listen to had they, like, had you, like, verbalized it to them. Like, the imagery is almost like two people playing tug of war, okay? And you got one person on one side and one person on the other. And it's like someone just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling really hard. And it's like you just kind of let the rope go, and then they smack down into the mud. They finally learned that lesson of, oh, maybe pile 1 was right, that I wasn't the right person to have control over where this thing was going, okay? So I think they learned a lesson too, especially for those of you that have not been in contact with whoever this was since that occurred. They learned a really harsh lesson from it, I'm hearing, as part of the karma for what happened here, okay? But yes, let's see what other secrets are going to be unveiled by this. I want to grab your other oracle decks, so let's grab the Dream Ritual Oracle here. So, what's about the secret here? Spirit guides of pile 1. What else do you want to say about that? Thank you. Okay. We have relax. So relax, to me, pile 1 says, it's kind of a reflection and a little bit of a repetition of what I said before, where I think if you feel a blame of some sort, this is like your spirit guide saying, please relax. No one blames you for what happened. It's not like it was your fault that things went wrong after that other person kind of commandeered control out of your hands, okay? Also, it's a confirmation that if you did just kind of, I mean, I don't even want to call it giving up, because it wasn't really giving up, pile 1. It was just accepting the circumstances. That relaxing, or like letting loose of that rope, as I was describing it before with that metaphor, was the right thing to do, okay? So we'll set that one here in the middle. So relax. And then let's grab your Sacred Destiny card. I think too, pile 1, it also was something that was really pivotal in teaching you a life lesson around understanding that not everything is always on your back completely. Like, not everything is always your responsibility. Even if, I mean, I don't know if you tend to try to, like, blame yourself a lot with these things, pile 1, or, like, you self-blame a lot is maybe a different, more concise way of putting that, but... And it's like your spirit guides are saying, why do you keep self-blaming for this, or in general? Okay, we have fire with security. Okay, so we have the cave. It looks like a little bit of a mammoth drawing. Security. And of course, you know, when we look at the card security, pile 1, it's very instinctive as humans, you know, as beings that originated in living in caves with fires and things like that. to desire security. Okay, it's very normal, very natural. We need to survive, right? So I almost wonder if there was something, like, the part of the reason why this person tried to commandeer things away from you, if you're looking for a reason as to why they did it. Once again, I'm not seeing any blame on your end. Like, they might have criticized you and made it seem as if, like, oh, well, I need to take this over because you're not good enough. Like, that was what they said. But really deep down, security makes me think that maybe they were insecure. Like, it was insecurity that was driving them. Like, they thought, oh, well, I'm just going to run roughshod all over pile one because, you know, I want to feel secure, and I want to, like, I almost wonder, especially for those of you where this was a career or job related thing, like, I don't know if, like, they felt like they needed something to justify keeping their job, or it was like they wanted a promotion, so they wanted a way to shine. It was something to do, like, with their security, which, of course, when we think of career and, like, promotions and things like that, that is directly tied to your security in terms of money and finances, right? So it was like they thought that if they didn't do it, like, they wouldn't have shown out enough, or like they wouldn't have stood out enough, and it was like a threat to their security. Or it's like they knew that you were really good at this and you would have shown brighter had they not taken it away from you. So, like, I think if you're looking for a reason as to why, that's part of why they did it, and that's part of the secret that your spirit guides want to reveal, is like them saying, hey, wait a minute, like, this wasn't necessarily, like, it's nothing to do with you. It's one of those problems where it's like a them problem, not a you problem. Okay, like, as I said before, that Three of Pentacles just tells me here, as the inciting incident, you came into it with the best intentions possible. Like, oh, I just want to get this done. I want everyone to have an equal chance to shine. I want this thing to get done well, you know, and they came at it from a perspective of, well, my security is at stake, or I feel insecure, so I'm just going to run all over pile one so that I can look better. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm hearing with that security card. And then we also have the Woodland Wardens. Let's grab that card too. So just not a very, I don't want to say they did it out of malice, pile one. It wasn't that they were, it's not like they hated you directly or were upset or, like, disliked you directly. I think they would have run roughshod over anybody that would have been in the position that they could have taken the power or the project away from. It's just that you happen to be in the way of what they wanted, so they just kind of steamrolled over you, or they were trying to. And this is really odd, and it might not resonate with every single one of you, but for some reason I'm getting kind of a sensation on, like, the left side of my body. I don't know if this person had something on, like, the left side of their body that was, like, a distinguishing mark, or, like, the left side of their face, especially their upper body. For some reason I'm getting a sense like that. Feel free to chime down in the comments down below if that resonates, because I'm really curious as to what that might mean for some of you, but there's some sensation I'm getting on the left side for some reason. Okay, and then this is the one I'm feeling. We have the ladybug and the sweet pea with happiness. Very cute. So I think another secret here, pile one, I'm hearing from this card and your spirit guides, is that it might not have seemed like it at the time, but really you were led to a greater path of higher happiness because of this. I almost wonder if this person, especially for those of you where this person that kind of took control away from you, like, if they were looking for a promotion or, like, keeping their job, they lost it, or they didn't get that promotion anyways. Like, it's like everything that they tried to do to bail the water out of the bottom of their boat just didn't work, and it's like they ran over you, and it just made them look worse in the end anyways. Like, or if at the time, like, people didn't really realize what was going on, it's like, in retrospect, especially for those of you where this is something that happened farther in the past, like, people know now, oh, okay, like, I know pile one wasn't at fault for that. I know that pile one was the one that was trying to salvage whatever this was, and the insecure person was the one that kind of ruined it or made it blow up in flames. Maybe you even got blame at the time too, which really sucks. If so, my apologies for that if that's what happened, pile one. maybe people even blamed you because they thought, oh, well, you were in control of this, weren't you? But I think that's another thing is, like, in retrospect, they kind of know, or even at the time they might have suspected it, but it was, I don't know if, like, they were in some position where it was, like, people were reluctant to blame them. Like, I don't know if maybe they were a little bit higher on the hierarchy or something. But for some reason, like, they just, if that's the case, it's like they took it out on you, but now, like, they're realizing, well, you had to kind of give up because it was like there was nothing else you could do. So, all in all, it's like you ended up on a better path anyways, though. Like, they just screwed themselves over, both karmically and also in the way of, like, what they were trying to accomplish. They didn't get it in the end. And they did it out of insecurity, as I said. And then I'm going to draw a final 3 tarot cards to see if there's any other aspects of the secret with this situation that your spirit guides want you to know. Because so far we've only heard about, they did it because they were insecure, they were trying to look better, and then you ended up on a better path anyways. And also we talked about, of course, like, people look at you in retrospect better than you think that they did. So let's grab 3 more cards. So spirit guides of pile 1, could you tell me any last little tidbits of a secret about this that you want pile 1 to know? Thank you. So we have death reversed. It did not lead to any change. What was I telling you, pile 1? I was like, I don't think they got what they were looking for. Whatever they did out of insecurity, the universe denied them anyways, because they did it in a way that was really, well, A, not karmically good, but B, it was like, I don't know if people kind of found them out, but in any case, death reversed means a lack of change. So nothing changed about their situation. So if you thought that they got away with it in terms of, like, they got what they wanted, they did not. They did not get what they wanted. So there's the blessing in that. Okay. Then we have the Ace of Cups reversed. Okay, so the Ace of Cups reversed can technically mean either being denied a new connection or like a new feeling that is bad. Okay, I think, too, the person kind of regretted it afterwards because of this Ace of Cups reversed. Also, if they were trying to make connections in any way, like I said as the one example, maybe it was like a promotion they were trying to get or they were trying to stand out, they did not do themselves any favors. Okay, that Ace of Cups reversed, if that's the case, basically means, like, they just kind of looked like, well, I can't say the real thing I want to say on YouTube. They looked like a giant butt. Okay, we'll put it that way, right? You know what I really want to say. But, yeah, so, yeah. No change. Did not get the emotional or relationship or connections, networking type thing that they were looking for, depending, of course, on the situation. And then let's grab the final card. Right there. We have the 8 of Swords. And you know what the 8 of Swords means, pile 1? Being trapped. They trapped themselves in some way, too. So really, part of the secret today, pile 1, is they really shot themselves in their own foot after they screwed you over. And of course, we don't wish ill on people, but especially after we feel like we've been kind of screwed over, sometimes it feels good. It's just very human to think, you know what? They got what they deserved. They got what was coming to them. So in which case, if you always wondered, that's the answer. They trapped themselves in some way. They messed things up. The Ace of Cups, like I said, reversed, is they didn't get the emotional satisfaction they wanted out of it, nor did they get the networking or connections they wanted out of it. And death reversed means there was no change anyways. Whatever they were trying to prevent, like maybe say losing their job, or they were trying to get a promotion, or they were trying to look better, it didn't change the way that people perceived them. And basically it was as if they hadn't really even, nothing they did got them what they wanted. Okay, so just to summarize today, pile 1, your secret that your spirit guides want to tell you is all about this group project situation where someone wrested something away from you. They did it out of insecurity, as I said. They absolutely did not receive anything for it that was good. Okay, especially that 8 of Swords when that popped out, I was like, oh, they trapped themselves. So it was almost like they were trying to break out of a jail cell, and they, in doing so, just put more bars around themselves. Like literally, as I said, it was like shooting themselves in the foot repeatedly. So that's your secret for today, was maybe a little bit of karmic justice for something that happened regarding something that was taken away from you, control that was taken away from you. And your spirit guides are commending you for just knowing at the time, like, when just to let go. Because actually, in a way, pile one, if you had not let go, and this perception would have been wrong, but people might have looked at you as like, you know, oh, well, like, it's like stubborn or you're being uncompromising. And really, by letting go, it let this person who was being not so nice, obviously, learn a lesson that they were supposed to learn. That was like a karmic lesson for them to understand. Because I don't know, maybe they had screwed other people over in the past before you. And so by them having this situation with you, they finally learned the lesson of, you know, well, we'll just say it, F-A-F-O. For YouTube sanitized. You know what I'm trying to say. But they F-A-F-O'd with this. And so it was like you teaching them a lesson. As much as it might have hurt at the time, you did the right thing and you were on the right path. And like I said, I think it led to greater happiness in the end for you and far less happiness for them. So that is your reading for today about the secret your spirit guides wanted to bring to light to you. Of course, as I always say, I hope it helped you. I hope it resonated. I hope you liked the reading. And if so, please like the video itself. Please comment down below about your situation. I'm very curious to hear what happened, your story, as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. As I always say, it's just a tiny little half a second button click for you, which helps me immeasurably with continuing the dream of this channel and spiritual healing the world, as well as providing more free readings for both you and others in the future. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day and hope to see you in the next one. Bye, Pile 1. Hello there, my wonderful Pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about what your spirit guides want to bring to light in terms of a secret. And of course, as you can recall, you were drawn to the very beautiful Wolf High Priestess of the Animal Oriens Tarot Pocket Edition. So, without further ado, when we do pick with tarot decks, I like to put the card right back into it so that it is available for the message if need be. And to start the reading, we're going to draw both a tarot spread. Oh, there goes some of the moss. Uh-oh. It's like, please don't fly into the candle. We wouldn't want to fire on camera, right? Yeah, so we're going to do a tarot spread as well as a one of the oracle decks to begin. So, Spirit Guides of Pile 2. If you could tell me more about the context of the secret you want to tell them about. What is it you want them to know? Okay, we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, that might actually be all 5 cards. And interestingly, the Seven of Swords came out sideways. You know, I usually read uprights and reversals, but I'm actually going to keep it sideways because that tends to give it a little bit more of a feeling of neutrality. So we will keep that. And then we have, let's see, 2, 3, 4, and I need 1 more card. So we're going to just cut the deck, take the top one. Okay, and then let's grab your tea leaves. Now, the Seven of Swords Pile 2 is typically about deception or trickery. It's someone trying to get away with something, or especially like maybe if this was a past-related thing. Okay, well, I can't take 4 of those. So we're going to take the top one, and then we have the other half of the deck. So, deception or trickery, as I was saying. I don't know if maybe someone has been kind of sneaky with you as part of the secret that your spirit guides want you to know, or as I said, it could be farther in the past. Someone was kind of sneaky, and your spirit guides are like, hey, we're gonna divulge the truth today about that. So let's see what else we've got for context. So tea leaf number 1 is the Carrot with Opportunity or Windfall, and the second one is Tulip, Great Passion. Interesting combination to get. Could have been that there was a deception around an opportunity that was given to you or denied to you. Also, Tulip, Great Passion could mean either something in a romantic relationship, or it could mean something that you were passionate about in terms of like a career or an ambition of yours. So let's keep going. The other tarot cards today are the Tower. Okay, so some dramatic cards popping out here. So the Tower tends to represent like a disaster or something that fell apart. It tends to represent really big, pivotal moments of change in our lives, especially upright. It's like something falling down. So it's something that really heavily affected you, Pile 2. Something that was it's Especially with that Seven of Swords next to it, it was like a betrayal or deception that led to something bad happening. With the Tower. This is quite dramatic. Then we have the Queen of Wands reversed, okay? Being the Heart of the Matter card, as I always call the central card in my spread, this could technically represent a certain person. So a Queen of Wands reversed, pile 2, would be a feminine energy person who is the element of fire in a bad way. It could mean that they're a fire sign, literally. It could also mean, fire in the bad way in terms of tarot tends to represent people that are like vain, or they're ambitious to a selfish degree, or they're confident but they walk all over other people, those kinds of things. Okay, so that could have been who this person was as an indicator from your spirit guides, who to look for as to what the deception was all about. And then we have the Six of Swords. We have, it looks like an anglerfish to me, actually being pierced by all the swords. It's kind of once again, a lot of dramatic cards for you today, pile 2. But the Six of Swords tends to represent moving forward or moving on. Literally, sometimes it means literally moving somewhere. And then last but not least, we have the Four of Cups as the outcome or final card. That tends to represent either apathy or someone not noticing something. So I think what happened in the end, pile 2, is you didn't even notice it. You didn't even realize what had happened. And I typically with my readings, usually things this dramatic don't come up, but I'm seeing with the spread we have here that for sure, with especially the Seven of Swords, that just flew out neutral, and then we also have the Tower right afterwards. This is something that affected you greatly. So, but you didn't notice it. Or you noticed the thing that happened, but I don't think you noticed what was really behind it or what happened. Or it's like there's some aspect of it, even if you kind of know who this person was that affected this, there's a part of it that your spirit guides want you to know for good reasons. Okay. So 2, the Six of Swords is like, as I said, a card of movement. I think it was something too that maybe caused you to have to move. I don't know if it was like a housing situation related thing, or it could also mean in terms of like a job, like you lost a job and then you were forced to kind of move to somewhere else in some way. It's something along those lines in terms of having to go forward with momentum somewhere else in a different direction is usually what the Six of Swords represents. So kind of, yeah, like I said, kind of dramatic. My apologies, pile 2, especially with that Tower that popped up. I was like, oh no, like that doesn't seem like that was very good or fun to go through, obviously, for, well, repeating the word obvious reasons, right? Yeah, someone really kind of screwed you over, I guess, is how I would put that. And 2, the Carrot is with opportunity or windfall. I almost wonder if there was an opportunity that was supposed to be yours, but then they came along, and then that's what caused the Tower moment of that opportunity being taken out of your hands. Okay. So your spirit guides are like, hey, wait a minute, we want your attention on this, because I don't know if it's possible there's still something you could do about it, pile 2. I mean, of course, it depends on each and every one of your situations watching this, but let's grab your other oracle cards to get more detail. Okay. I'm very curious. Also, as I always say, for those of you who, like, this is resonating really well, feel free to weigh down in the comments down below. I am really curious as to what's going on. We have approve. So that could mean, pile 2, that a part of what was taken from you was the approval of somebody. Maybe if this was like a romantic relationship related thing, someone had taken away, like, they had sabotaged like your approval by someone else that was maybe like you were interested in. Like maybe they sabotaged it because they were into that person. That's like one way I can see this manifesting. Or it could be like, if this was a job related thing, it was like they had the power to help approve you for this, and it's like they were the ones that put the axe in it, because that's another thing, is I want to know why they did it. I want to know why. We'll see what the other oracle cards say, but at the same time, too, another intuitive message I'm getting from this approve card, pile 2, is that you handled it in the best way, though. So, like, approve, I see as, like, your spirit guide saying, we approve of the way that you handled it, but even so, we want to bring it to your attention. especially with that Four of Cups. Okay, let's see what else pops out. All right, I'm being called to this one. We have stillness. So we have the swan on a frozen lake with the aurora in the background, like things coming to a standstill, which is interesting because you had the card of forward momentum with the Six of Swords, but then you have like a standstill card here too. So it's almost like they froze you in place somewhere, or they wanted to preserve like their own place. And so that forced you to move, but like it's like they wanted to lock something down. They wanted something to stay the way it was. I don't know if like too, maybe you were introducing a lot of change to the situation and they were kind of like insecure or upset about it as a part of what was going on. Let's grab your last oracle card, and then at the end we'll also have another 3 tarot cards to kind of as like final details to the secret. I also just kind of want to know, as your tarot reader today, pile 2, like what's coming to this person for what they did, because you're probably wondering the same thing. You're like, what's going to happen to this person after what happened here? There we go. This one we have the porcupine and the anemone with boundaries. Of course, we think of porcupines as, you know, obviously, well, you don't want to step on them anyways because they're very cute. But at the same time, too, they have those quills on their back. So it's like, don't walk on me. Interesting card. Boundaries. Let's look at all of your other cards in conjunction here, pile 2. I think in a way though, pile 2, and this might sound odd, despite you maybe not understanding like the level of the deception that was going on here, in a way you still had your boundaries protected. Although, I mean, you did have the tower moment. There was something that was either taken from you, or it was like kind of a really pivotal moment of change, or like I said, the tower can mean disaster, but it's like there still was a protection there of some sort. Boundaries. I'm going to draw another tarot card on that oracle card, okay? Because I'm just very rabidly curious, pile 2. Spirit guides, can you give me one card on the boundaries card? Thank you. What do you mean by that a little bit more? Thank you. We have the the Knight of Pentacles reversed. The Knight of Pentacles reversed is usually someone who cuts corners. It can also mean someone who rushes things. Whatever it was, pile 2, there was something about you that really threatened whoever this person is. There's something about the way that you went about going through things more diligently that I don't know if they were like jealous of, or like they couldn't stand. Like they didn't. Maybe you made them look bad too in a way, and so they thought like the only way to really get what they wanted was to be kind of down and dirty and sabotage a little bit. God, this is quite a dramatic reading. Usually my readings aren't this dramatic, pile 2, but and especially next to the keyword boundaries. So it's like cutting corners on boundaries. Like they try to run roughshod over your boundaries. I'm going to grab just one more card on that. Usually I don't grab more than one clarification card, but I'm going to just cut the deck here and grab the top one. We have another Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Okay, so the Abundance of Pentacles, pile 2, might mean that this was something to do with boundaries regarding finances or career, because Pentacles are the suit of those things. King of Pentacles too can mean either like a masculine figure who has mastered their career or their finances, or it can also mean your own mastery of those things, especially in more masculine energy ways, in more action and like tangible accumulations of things. I almost wonder if you got money. Part of the disaster was like something with money or career. As I said, like some of you, it could have been maybe sabotage at a job, or like you got axed from a job because of this. or like asked from a promotion that you were supposed to get. Especially because the carrot with opportunity or windfall makes me think of that, and the stillness is like something being frozen. So all in all, pile 2, like I said, we'll pull the 3 final cards, but so far, just to summarize, it's like there's some situation where you thought that you didn't get something because of like your inherent quality or like your inherent skill, be it either like a romantic partner or be it like a job related thing or whatever, however this applies to you specifically. But the secret is from your spirit guides is they're saying you didn't get it because of someone else, not because of your own inherent lack of ability or worth of whatever this thing was. Like I said, I think for a lot of you, it's probably to do with either career or finances, although with great passion, too, we think maybe possibly a romantic relationship, as I said. But in the same way, though, with boundaries, it makes me think that you were, as I said, still protected in a way. So I almost wonder if it wasn't even that good for you in the end to get whatever that thing was. Like maybe if, say, it had been a romantic partner that someone else had kind of sabotaged them wanting to, say, ask you out, just for an example, dating that person wouldn't have been that great in the end anyways. Or like if it was a job or a promotion, same thing. It wasn't that great for you in the end anyway. So it's almost kind of like dodging a bullet, but at the same time, it's like your spirit guides are like, we want you to know that this happened, because intuitively what I'm hearing is they don't want you to feel a suffering of lower self-esteem because of this. It wasn't your fault, pile 2, at all. It was someone else that just, they couldn't stand you getting something that they wanted, is what I'm hearing. They wanted something and you were in the way, so they ran roughshod over your attempt at that thing. Okay, and then to finish off the reading, I want to grab 3 extra tarot cards on like more about the secret itself, because like I said earlier, I want to kind of know like maybe like what is the outcome for that person. Okay, because I think if I were in your situation, pile 2, I'd want to know like, well, are they gonna get like karma for this, or like what's the outcome, and then also just more in general. So let's see what your spirit guides say with that. Okay. We have the 3 of Wands reversed. Okay. So that tends to mean someone has plans, but they were thwarted, or there's been an obstacle to their plans. You kind of remind me of pile 1 today, pile 2. I think maybe they didn't actually get what they wanted in the end. Or it's like you were protected in a way anyways. Even though technically you went through a disaster or a loss of some sort with that tower, it's like in the same way, like they didn't get what they were planning on getting either. Then we have the Queen of Cups reversed, which is a lack of emotional security. And whatever it was, pile 2, it didn't make them any more emotionally secure. Because that's what a Queen of Cups reversed is someone who is very emotionally insecure. It tends to be feminine energy, like we saw with the Queen of Wands earlier. So I think for most of you, this was a feminine person who caused the problem, is what I'm hearing. And then last but not least, we have the Ace of Swords. So it tends to be either a new idea or a new direction in life. Yeah, I think the other part of the secret they want to unveil to you, pile 2, is it's kind of similar to what I said before, in that it wouldn't have been a good thing for you to get anyways, as much as it hurt at the time, because the Ace of Swords is like you got a new direction in life that was more positive anyways. Like there's something better for you down the road that you went on, splitting off from that decision or that event, that like you're better for it going this direction had you gone on the direction you were going on and had that person not tried to deceive or be sneaky about something, okay? So it's like they didn't really win in the end at all, pile 2. They didn't really get what they wanted. Especially that 3 of Wands reversed makes me think of, as I said, obstacles to our plans. Like something else came along and I think thwarted them anyways. So maybe that's even why it was deceptive, because it seemed like, if they had sabotaged me, well, they didn't get that thing anyways. So it's like you didn't really suspect them, but at the same time, they didn't get it because it was like, it almost feels like karmic justice here. But at the same time, as I said, though, it made it difficult for you to notice, especially as we said with the Four of Cups is the outcome earlier. Because, like, it would have been noticeable had they gotten that thing, or had it worked out for them, but it didn't. But it's like, at the same time, they still want you, your spirit guides, to know of the deception so that you don't feel a lack of self-esteem from whatever this was. Like, it was not at all an inherent lack of worth on your end or anything that you did wrong. It was that someone put a wrench in things but didn't even get what they wanted in the end anyways, and you're the one that's better off for it. Also, I just noticed, pile 2. Duh, maybe I'm kind of dumb, I didn't notice it before, but we have the Swan here and the Ace of Swords, and the Swan here in Stillness. Literally the same kind of, they called trumpeter swans? I can't remember exactly what variety of swan, but swans nonetheless, okay? And you know, for some reason the phrase coming to mind is the ugly duckling turning into the swan when I think of those two cards. There's something about you that became more beautiful because of this. Like, and I don't say that as in, like, literally, like, physical beauty, pile 2. Like when I said, like, the ugly duckling turning into the swan. It's not a physical beauty related thing. It's more, there's some quality of yours that you gained because of this situation that made you all the more beautiful of a spirit in the end than this other person. Beyond the obvious, you know, they sabotaged you and they were, obviously that doesn't make their soul very nice, right? But besides that obvious thing, it's like a quality of patience I'm hearing. There's something about the quality of patience to your soul that was made all the more beautiful because of this. Okay. So, very interesting reading today. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here, pile 2. Very dramatic, as I said before. I was like, oh, wow, this is... Especially with the Seven of Swords coming out right away, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But just know in the end you're better off for it anyways, okay? Even if it doesn't feel like it necessarily, and it's hard to kind of, you know, of course, acknowledge your pain with this, pile 2. I'm not saying, and spirit guides aren't saying to, like, that, you know, oh, you should just not feel angry at all. Like, you should. That's why they're bringing it to your attention. But at the same time, there's also the balm on your spirit of the knowing that, you know what, I was better off in the end this way anyway. So that person that tried to take this thing from me, they literally helped me dodge a bullet that they then got hit with themselves. Okay. Is what I'm hearing. So... that was your reading today about a secret your spirit guides wanted to bring to light. If it helped you, this reading, if it resonated especially, if you liked the reading, please like the video itself. Please comment down below your story. I'm really interested to hear what's been going on with this for each and every one of you. Also just to share your pain with others, because another really good thing about communities like ours is that, you know, when we come across things like this, especially with tower moments in our lives, like we had the tower before as one of your cards, even just sharing your story can help other people feel more okay with the pain that they went through, and then same thing too, vice versa. It can help balm your soul. So as I said, please weigh down in the comments down below if you would like. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. That's just a tiny little button click away, as I always say. Just half a second for you that helps me immeasurably with carrying the dream of this channel alive into the future of spiritually healing people, as well as providing more free readings for both you and others in the future. And as I always say, with our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about the secret your spirit guides want to bring to light. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the very beautiful Spacious Tarot for your deck today, and the High Priestess with the moon in the conch shell. So, as we always do when we choose with tarot decks, I like to put the main card right back into it so it's available for the message if required. And let's begin today with a tarot spread as well as one of our oracle decks. So, calling on the spirit guides of pile number 3 today. If you could, please tell us a little bit more the context of the secret you want them to know. Thank you. Okay. And 5. Okay, there's your tarot cards. And then, of course, we have your tea leaves as the oracle deck I mentioned. So this secret pile 3 could be a blessing. It could be clarity on something that will bring you more ease. Okay, we have the well, which is family wishes come true. So that is part of the message. Maybe something to do with your family. Then we have okay, this one for sure was standing out, so I'll take that. Excuse me. So, already saw the well, kind of flipped out on its own, family wishes come true, and then your other tea leaf today is dark man. Dealings or relationship with a man with a dark complexion or hair. So we have a masculine figure that's coming out as a part of the secret, as it says, dark complexion or hair. So that's a bit of a sign to you as to who this is referring to. Let's look at your tarot cards too to gain more insight. We have the Explorer or Knight, as it's known in most decks, of Wands. So a Knight of Wands is someone that takes action with our passions or our ambitions, something that we are focused on in those areas. It could also denote technically a masculine figure who is relatively young. I would say Knights tend to be maybe, 20s to 30s to maybe 40. That could mean literally this dark complexioned or featured man. Could also mean he is a fire sign. All right. As Wands are the fire suit. Second card is the Seven of Cups reversed, which has been popping up quite a lot lately for our community. I wonder if it's a bit of a collective message here, but what the Seven of Cups represents is trying to figure out what dreams are real, what things to chase. It's a little bit of a card about sort of like illusions, not quite like the moon, but it's kind of like, what do we want in life? What's attainable? What's not? What's realistic? What's not? Especially in reverse. Then we have the Explorer or the Knight of Swords reversed as the heart of the matter. So we have another Knight. Once again, I think that means that this dark man with complexion or features probably is within that age range I mentioned before, 20 to 40 maybe or so. This is technically an air sign, being swords, but reversed, technically, it means someone that needs to take action with their words or their logical mind, and they're not doing so because it's in reverse. So I wonder if there's something that this man wanted to say to you that he didn't, or he currently is not saying to you about things that he actually wants. Interesting. Then we've got the Five of Pentacles. Okay, that tends to represent poverty or loss regarding money. We have a lone wolf heading up to, it looks almost like a Stonehenge of some sort. A lone wolf going forward. And then we've got the Nine of Wands reversed. Okay, that tends to represent either being kind of tired with something, giving up on something. Tends to denote that we've been through a long battle or internal disagreement about whether or not we want to keep going with something. Determination is a really good word to use with this card. Reversed especially, it's like having given up on something. So pile number 3, what I want to say is, so for some of you, this could be a family member because of the well card. Family wishes come true. I'm also, though, hearing intuitively that for some of you, this could have been a potential romantic partner or a platonic partner of some sort, in terms of like someone that could have been a friend of yours, or as I said, maybe even a romantic partner if that's how it was manifested. Okay, like I said, possibly this man was a fire sign is what I'm hearing, especially because you have 2 wands, which are both the fire cards here in your spread, more so than any of the other suits. So yes, fire sign, and then on top of that, there's something that this man either wanted to say to you or should have said to you, but he didn't. Okay? He wanted to speak something about his dreams or what he really was after, but he's not telling the truth about it, or if this is, pile 3 of the secret might even be something even far, far in the past. Okay, of course, depending on how old you are watching this, it could have been, decades ago, or, sometimes I have some younger viewers who are, maybe about 20 or even a little bit younger. Either way, for you, contextually, it could have been up to, like, a long time ago. Or it might be current for some of you. they're not telling you something, and then it's like it led them to go off on their own or walk away, or like they lost something, or they, especially too, this being the fourth card here with the Five of Pentacles, I tend to represent that as the near future card sometimes. They're going to like lose out on something that they're wanting, and then it's like they, in the end here with the outcome, if it was far in the past they gave up, or it's like they're going to give up. Okay, so of course extrapolate to that your particular situation. Like I said, for some of you it might have been a guy that was interested in you romantically, and he just for some reason, I don't know, maybe he was shy. That's one way a Knight of Swords reversed can represent itself, as someone who's shy. Or it's like they didn't exactly know what to say, or like they were too afraid to say it, and it's just... So, I mean, I think, and the reason why your spirit guides want to share this secret with you, pile 3, is because, and this has been quite a theme with all the piles today, I guess collectively as a community we're seeing a lot of this, but it's like they want you to know because they don't want you to feel like this person or this man thought that there was anything inherently wrong with you. Like, I'm not saying anything here as that aspect, or like if you're thinking that something regarding this was your fault, it's not. It was something within this masculine energy person's. It was in like their ball court to say something or to be honest about something. That's another keyword you can use with swords, is honesty. Like, you know, it's kind of like the tarot suit of like the throat chakra. Honesty, being open with our throat chakra. They were not, or they're not currently being. And it's going to lead them to give up in the end, or it did. Okay. But there was passion there. We have the Explorer of Wands in the beginning. That means fire. But they wear out in the end, okay? So for some of you, that actually might be a relief. Maybe you've been kind of concerned about this dark-featured man. Maybe he's been causing some problems in, say, your family, speaking of the Well card. And so maybe this is a relief. You're like, oh, thank God this person's going to stop causing issues. They're going to give up. Okay. For some of you, it might have been a disappointment in terms of you wanted this person to pursue you more, say, in a romantic situation, or, you know, you wanted to befriend or get closer to this person, so it was a disappointment when they did give up, okay, or when they will, but something along those lines. Let's grab some more context with your other cards today, pile 3. I'm going to grab the Oracle decks next, and then at the very end, to cap off the reading, I want to do, every pile today, I've been doing like a final 3 cards to kind of just see if there's anything else about the secret that your spirit guides want you to know. So let's shuffle your Oracle decks first to get more details. Anything else, spirit guides? Okay, we have freedom. What an interesting card, freedom. So maybe one of the reasons they were reluctant, if this was a situation where you wanted it to happen, or like they were reluctant, pile 3, it was because they were afraid of losing their freedom in some way, especially if this was like a romantic context for some of you. It could have been that they wanted you, but they weren't ready to settle down yet. Okay, like they weren't ready to tie down quite yet. Or maybe there was even like a physical location issue going on. Like maybe they knew that they were going to be like long distance, or they were going to move. So they're like, you know what? I choose my freedom. I'm going to give up on this one thing. Okay. Even though it hurt them a lot, I'm hearing with the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Especially like that's a loss of some sort. For those of you where this is like an issue with, is someone that you kind of like want to give up on something that's been causing problems. Okay. In that case, I would read the freedom card as a card of they're going to give up because there's something that they don't want to be tied down with, okay? And that's the reason fueling why this 9 of Wands came out reversed as the outcome, okay? They want freedom. Like, too, we see the lone wolf with the 5 of Pentacles. It's like they tend to be a lone wolf person in the first place, too. Maybe that's kind of attributed to a little bit of the shyness there with the Knight of Swords reversed we saw as the central card, but, so freedom was a factor. Let's grab your other Oracle decks here too. More details, the better. What else do you want to say, spirit guides, for pile 3? Okay. telling the middle one here, we have action. So lack of action or taking action. Okay, so action was a key part of what went wrong or what will go wrong. I'm going to draw one more tarot card on this to get a bit more clarification on that, because maybe a tiny bit vague there. Spirit guides, can you give me one card on action? Thank you. Okay, well, that was quite a lot of cards on action. I'm like, I need one, and they're like, here's, looks like 3. Thank you, Spirit guides. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. Okay, we have the Empress, which is the card of motherhood or fertility or nurturing creation energy. It could mean too, for those of you where this person, so for those of you where this is a romantic related thing and this dark featured man was interested in woman, it could have been maybe like another feminine figure had kind of caught his attention away a little bit, which once again is not your fault at all whatsoever. Especially with the Empress. It's like, as a clarification for action too, it's like taking action towards a feminine energy. We have but it didn't work out. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. So if that's the case for those of you where this is a romantic thing, it didn't work out between this man and that woman, okay? So, a feminine energy. So, he was not happy. He was not happy. He regrets it. Ace of Cups reversed is an emotional regret. And the Six of Wands, however, there's a victory. Interesting. So it's like he got one thing he wanted with the Six of Wands, which is the victory card, with the crown of the laurel leaves, but at the same time, it's like there was no emotional satisfaction with that Ace of Cups reversed in the action that he took. So it might have looked like from the outside that he was really happy, or currently, like if this is something where you want someone to kind of go away that's causing issues, like I'm kind of reading for 2 different groups here. Like they'll feel like they'll have won a victory of some sort, but deep down emotionally they won't be satisfied with the action that they take. They might kind of make it seem as if they won in some way, or might make it seem as if like they're really happy with the outcome, but like deep down there's still a little bit of something kind of like niggling at them, kind of like nibbling a bit, that they're not exactly happy about, especially with the context of that having been clarifiers for the action card. So, external victory, but internally, not so happy. And then, yes, the feminine figure, too. Because, I mean, for those of you who kind of want this person to give up on something, it could mean that literally a feminine figure is part of the action, like, they take towards to go. Like, maybe they're drawn away by a feminine person. That could be another reason as to why they leave. Let's grab the final oracle card here. Then we have this chipmunk, and speaking of laurel, you got the laurel with the Six of Wands, but chipmunk and laurel, which means success. Okay, so what that tells me, pile 3, and I'll grab another tarot card to clarify that one, but what I'm hearing intuitively, at least so far, is that you were better off in the end anyways. And maybe that's kind of where that Six of Wands really comes in, was what your spirit guides were trying to say before, was that it led to an emotional dissatisfaction on the man's part, but for you it was a victory of some sort. Okay, so the action that he took led to a victory on your part, or will, if this is more future tense or present tense, right? Let's get one more card on success here with the chipmunk and the laurel. Yeah, because, we always talk about laurel being, a crown of victory, right? Or we use the phrase, to rest on your laurels. We have the Eight of Swords, trapping, being stuck. Okay, but also freeing oneself is another meaning for that card. I think he trapped himself in some way, or he's going to. Depending on, like I said, if this is past or present / future tense for you, for your situation, pile 3. But in the end, it's like a success. So even though, like, it might be difficult at the time, or it was if it was in the past, pile 3, your spirit guides, and this is just a really resounding theme throughout every deck today, or every pile, I should say, like, you're better off in the end for it anyways. Like, the phrase we like to use in the spiritual community is rejection is divine protection. As much as you might have wanted this person or this man to stay, in a way, it's almost kind of like a freedom for yourself as well. Because, yeah, I mean, the Eight of Swords is like feeling trapped, and then we also have the Oracle card of freedom. I just noticed that connection. The two very opposite cards. So he might have thought that he found freedom, or he will, but really he's putting himself into a cage, and you're freeing yourself from some sort of thing that's been imprisoning you, is what I'm hearing with this, or you did in the past. Okay, so that's another part of the secret your spirit guides want to tell you. This person trapped themselves or will. Okay, and you're the ones getting freed. Well, and also, another thing, pile 3. You know, for those of you where, like, family comes into play, especially with the well, it says family wishes come true. I think it's also better for your family in some way to have kind of, like, dodged this metaphorical bullet. Like, there's something about this situation where, like, your family is better off for it. Okay, so if it had been a romantic partner, and say you're at the period of life where you already have children, like, that guy might not have been the best partner to bring in to introduce to, like, your children, just as one example, or like you not being with this person led you to have more focus on your family, and they were better off for it in that way. Or it's like, if this is future tense, pile 3, it's like them not being around will be better for your family as well. Okay, so to cap off the reading, let us do the final 3 tidbits of the secret that your spirit guides want you to know with tarot. Anything else, spirit guides, you want to tell them? Anything you want to reassure them of, or explain more about the secret itself? We have the Star reversed, okay, which means losing hope or faith in something. I love that depiction of the star. Very beautiful. Of course, I'm not biased because it has pine trees in it, right? But I'm always biased when there's pine trees and things. Let's see. This one for sure says pick me, and the world. Look at all these major arcana too. The world is the end of a chapter. They said it's good to lose your hope or faith in whatever this is, or whoever this was. It was a necessary close to something. Because the world is like the end of a journey, or the end of a chapter in your life, with a satisfying conclusion. Also, if this is present tense, pile 3, you're going to find that it's a satisfying conclusion coming up soon with this situation, okay? Because the world upright is like something coming to like a good curtain close. Not a scary or a bad one like the world reversed might indicate, but upright, it's like a good ending, okay? Like all's well that ends well, kind of, sort of that message. And then last but not least, we have the Explorer, or the Knight of Pentacles reversed, which tends to mean either someone who cuts corners. It could also represent somebody who is not diligent, and maybe that's part of the reason why the rejection's divine protection was a blessing for you, or will be, is because this person is someone who tends to cut corners, or they would have been bad with finances, okay, especially being the Pentacle suit. It's like you're better off financially for this too, because of this. So that could also be affecting your family too, for those of you where family is an aspect of this situation, where it's like you're better, like maybe they would have spent money really poorly, okay, or they would have in the future tense. And then, yeah, the star is, as I said, like losing hope or faith in something. It's like you losing your hope or your faith is what will bring it to a satisfying conclusion there with the world, because it would have led to either cutting corners, or like loss of money, or lack of responsibility or diligence with money or career related things. Okay, so that's just reconfirming to me, pile 3, that you're better off in the end for this anyways, because this didn't happen, or it won't. Okay. And you do have a lot of cards of success coming out here. We had like the 6 of Wands, and then literally same thing with the Laurel crown here, but then Laurel with the Chipmunk and the Laurel card. You have literally the card of success, okay? Just know that, you know, if you regret what happened with this, maybe you felt really rejected at the time, pile 3, especially if this is a romantic potential that had happened. once again, rejection is divine protection with this. Like, you were better off not being with that person, okay? I don't see it inherently as, like, the person was a bad person, this guy, the dark-featured complexion man. I don't say that he was a bad person. I just don't think he would have been, like, A, serious enough, and B, financially responsible enough, and then C, maybe not a good mesh with your family. Okay, for those of you, this is romantic. Same thing too with, say it was a platonic friend type situation where, you know, you kind of wanted to connect with them more, it just didn't work out. Same thing. Okay, maybe they wouldn't have clicked very well with, you know, your family or your found family, like maybe your friend group, as we say with the found family. And two, like, I mean, just overall, pile 3, it's like, it wasn't your fault. It's not a bad reflection on you. It was more a reflection on the man. Okay. And as I said before, he trapped himself in a way, or he will. And you're the one freeing yourself, even if it feels like you were the one put in a cage. Okay. And yeah, they lose out in the end, or they did. You know, 5 of Pentacles we had earlier. Loss, poverty, hardship. Okay. Maybe that's another reason why that came out earlier. As we said, they might not have been financially responsible. And they were just going down a bad financial route and would have dragged you down with it. And then, yeah, in the end, gave up with the 9 of Wands reversed. But it was a good giving up, because it wouldn't have led to anywhere good. I almost kind of wonder if they knew that they weren't good enough for you, pile 3. Especially for those of you, this is a romantic thing. Like, they knew that you were more serious than they were. So they thought, you know what, I'm not going to waste their time. I'm just going to move forward. Something along those lines. But it was a positive ending. Remember that World card, pile 3, okay? Positive ending in the end, even if it didn't feel like it at the time. So, that was your reading for today. That was your secret revealed to you, brought to light by your spirit guides. If you liked the reading, and of course, most of all, if it resonated and helped you in any way, please like the video itself. Please comment your story down below. I'm always very fascinated and interested in hearing your story and how the readings reflect things that have gone on in your lives. And also, as I always say, it's good to kind of connect with a community. Even just sharing your story can help someone in an indirect way that has gone through a very similar thing, and vice versa. It might balm your soul as well to know other people have gone through the exact same things that you have, okay? And then, of course, too, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. As I always say, it's just a tiny little button click, half a second away for you, which helps me immeasurably with supporting the dream of this channel and bringing, I was going to say bringing and providing at the same time. I'll choose providing spiritual healing for the world. I got tongue-tied there. As well as providing more free readings for both you and others in the future for much, much longer into the, well, however long the channel goes on. We'll see how long it goes on. Hopefully many, many years, right? Yeah, and then as I always say with our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.